see the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for Geneva, leading off the extra hitter, number 11, Zach Banks. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 28, J.D. Robinson. Batting third, the shortstop, number 21, Chase Fogg. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 13, Aiken Santana. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 17, Dylan Briggs. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 5, Tim Bowerman. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 14, Jack Turner. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 1, Colin Clark. Batting ninth, the first baseman, number 15, Brock Ratterman.
18, 19, and 20.
And batting 10th, the second baseman, number 24, Christian Bermudez. The starting pitcher for Geneva is number 20, Michael Focus. The Red Wings are coached by Thomas Eaton, assisted by Sean Ladd and Brady Beckner. Now let's meet the starting lineup for your Auburn Doubledays. Leading off second baseman from Iowa University, number 21, Tyler Zitbachwa. And second, the left fielder from Denison University, number 34, Bobby Hardy. And third, the catcher from Villanova University, number 5, Mark Gialucci. And fourth, the extra hitter from the University of Delaware, number 19, Anthony Cesare.
And you get the change, bring all the change back.
And fifth, the shortstop from Lemoyne College, number 36, Adam Sullivan.
Hold on. Will you get me a Diet Coke? And, whoa.
And sixth, the right fielder from Hamilton College, number 16, Gianni Pisuto. Batting seventh, the third baseman from Mississippi State University, number 19, Charlie Wortham. Batting eighth, the third baseman from Rowan Gloucester University, number 12, Nick Izzo. Batting ninth, the designated hitter from the University of Tampa, number 11, Tyler Young. Batting 10th, the center fielder from Mount St. Mary's University, number 1, Sam Meyer. The starting pitcher for the Doubledays from Notre Dame University is number 22, Aiden Zerb. Tonight's bat boy is number 2, Hunter Emerson, and number 5, Braden Gorse. The Doubledays are coached by Matthew Petrosi, assisted by Ryan Fletcher. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask all who are able to please stand and remove your caps for our national anthem. The anthem will be performed by Ms. Kira Dominic. Advance to draw tonight's first ceremonial pitches. Let's welcome from the Fort Myers Little League, Jake Caldwell. And from Weckman, Lisa Jones.
Good evening, everybody. We are back at Auburn Doubledays to make it 2 in a row with their 5-3 victory last night. Taking hot dogs. Ceremonial first pitch that goes over the netting.
That's a new one.
It's the second start pitcher. Will now take it around the line. Doubles of the 5-3 against the hot dogs last night.
Hey folks, here's up the third base coaching box with Doubledays fan who's out there with the cheers.
I think the main thing is going to be combating against Geneva's dink and dunk hitting. They don't have a ton of power behind their bats, but we've seen it before here at Falcon Park where Geneva has capitalized on those singles and managed to eke their way to either close games or even wins here at home against the Auburn Doubledays. In the standings right now. This is a huge game for Auburn. Batavia today taking on Niagara Falls. Both teams narrowly ahead of the Doubledays. Jamestown taking on Elmira. Jamestown a little ahead, Elmira a little behind. So Auburn can either drastically move up in the standings or fall even further back depending on how tonight's contest at Falcon Park goes.
Leading off for Geneva, Victor Hill, very well in that bank.
Eddie's on the mound, and his first hit out the center. Tracking it,
Yes, we saw Eric Korzeniewski get off to a fast start, keep that pitch count low. It allowed him to go for a little bit longer than he probably would have gone normally. If Zerk can get off to that similar start, he's got the arm talent to make it a solid 7 innings.
Two one pitch here to Robinson. Falls to all runs did not matter. That count even 2-2. Tap over to third. Getting it on the run throw to first. It's going to be inside. First hit by out number 2.
Now, Charlie Wortham just has that range at third that allows him to really thrive, and that ability similar to Adam Sullivan to just gather any ball on the run and still be able to transition smoothly to the throwing hand and toss it over to first.
I knew they wouldn't. Diet Coke must be more expensive because everyone. I'm gonna wait to get it. Oh yeah, just go to the main entrance and grabs a quick and then walk straight in and gets back. Oh, there is? Well, they just started. Yeah. All right. No, doesn't matter. Just see what's on.
Right field.
Oh, yeah. Right. Where?
Okay, we
Can you just hold on to this without losing it? Exactly what everyone should be doing. Perfect.
Leading off for the Doubledays second base from Auburn University, the top one.
Doubledays is Auburn in Geneva. On Route 20. About an hour from Geneva. Yeah, Doubledays.
Inside hits time.
I think they have the same colors to me and Doubledays. Doubledays fixed it right.
So batting left fielder from Tennessee University, number 34.
Rocker seemed fine after that one, which is a good thing. Instantly sprinted his way over. I think a little bit of it is to run off the pain, and the other factor there is showing that you're not hurt at all and that you can still do damage. You still want that pitcher to be worried about you running over to second.
Okay. Right.
So Doubledays trying to
There's a guy at home. 3 left turns.
Manning, the catcher from Philadelphia University.
Bog, it would have been a tough play to make, but Hardy does get the single there. Vivacqua showing off the speed. Wasn't a catastrophic error there from Fogg, but Vivacqua used it to his advantage and instantly made his way over to third.
Oh, there's
Rounding second, third. There's now a priority round opening. It's going to do across the field in time to get more to the points to second. So there's second,
that's what?
Doubledays with two quick runners in scoring position, only one out on the board. We saw the Doubledays get off to a hot start yesterday, 5 runs through their first 4 innings, scoring in each of those innings. If they can get off to a hot start against a Geneva team that's hurting in the pitching department, they could be setting themselves up for a fantastic game, maybe even a 7-inning game.
on the ground. Clock coming in, no throw to home. In time, the run does.
Exactly what needed to happen there. Effectively, a bunt for Anthony DeCesare, but puts 2 outs on the board. But getting that first run across is huge for Auburn, allows them to play with the lead at least for an inning or two.
Swung on.
Probably don't.
Focus at times this season has struggled with his accuracy issues, even though that's not normally what gets him into too much trouble. And that's the scouting report on Bocus. Not someone who, as I mentioned, he can get into accuracy issues, but that's not his main flaw. He just gives up too many hits. We've already seen the Doubledays rack up 2 hits in this inning, and it's just been, even when they're getting out, the Doubledays are still making these smart, consistent hits that move runners, keep them advancing.
Outside. Adamson. Go opposite. Bogus just threw his glove in the air. Lost it time to hit. Oh,
Fully
Bogus
hit
has
right
it.
away.
Doubledays get on the board first. Nothing.
21 better than
Negotiating back. Back here in the top of the second. Right.
Zer went through the first inning 1, 2, 3. Just sliced through the Red Wings like butter. Now has worked his way to a 1-2 count. Zer with some of the highest velocity that we've seen out of the Doubledays staff all campaign. Gets up to 91-92 on his fastest pitches and catches Santana swinging and missing there. Gets him reaching at an outside pitch nowhere near the plate. The first punch out of the day for Aiden Zer, the Notre Dame product, as Dylan Briggs now steps up to the plate. That one in there, strike number one. Zer on the campaign, a 5.76 ERA through 7 appearances, just 3 starts, as the ground out from Sullivan over to Izzo for out number 2. Zer one batter away from making it 2 consecutive 1-2-3 innings. As I mentioned yesterday, we saw Eric Korzeniowski make it through the first 3 innings, 1-2-3, although his third, he did have a base runner, just forced a ground out into a double play the batter after. As that pitch in there, strike number 1. Up to bat is Tim Bowerman, a right fielder, a junior out of Marywood University, as he takes the second pitch for ball number 2, or excuse me, strike number 2. Zer's been able to use his diverse pitch bag to really confuse these Red Wing batters as it's a ball outside there. But nearly all of his strikes today have been looking strikes that Zer has thrown. However, he did catch Santana swinging for that 1 strikeout, and he's going to catch Bowerman swinging there. A really fast 1-2-3 inning for the pitcher, Aiden Zer. 2 of the outs being strikeouts, and we'll be back in the bottom of the second to see if the Doubledays can expand upon their 2-0 lead. Stay tuned for more Doubledays baseball.
second round Doubledays.
31 from the Witham.
The Doubledays now on their 7th batter. They made it through as many in the first inning as the Red Wings have made it through in 2. Charlie Wortham up to bat. Made an impressive play out in the field in the first inning. Now getting the chance to flash his offensive prowess. And he's going to crack that right over to third. Aiken Santana gobbles it up and tosses it over to Rotterman for out number 1. That'll bring Nick Izzo up to bat. Izzo, the first baseman, batting a solid 172 on the campaign. Obviously looking to try to boost those numbers up. But he's been working his way into a more consistent spot in the lineup over these last few weeks or so as that pitch bends in there for strike number 1. Seems like Izzo and Caden Albright will be splitting time at first through this final stretch of the campaign, especially with the loss of former utility infielder Max Fishbein, who would play first, second, third. He'd play anywhere he was needed.
Count 0-2 here to Nick Izzo as the pitch is going to be in the dirt.
So now a 1-2 count after that pitch dives into the dirt. 1 out on the board. Izzo will be followed up by Tyler Young and Sam Meyer to round out the Doubledays lineup as that strike number 3 was dropped. Umpire calls that it was dropped, but he'll throw it. The catcher will over to first. Clark connecting with Rotterman for out number 2.
As now coming to the plate is going to be Tyler Young, the designated hitter in tonight's ball game. Apologize about some audio I had to start the game. My partner Ryan Story for covering. Saying my focus now to Lid. First pitch strike to Young on my part of the plate. So the count 0-1. Doubledays have a 2-0 lead. Focus steal, swung on and missed. Strike number 2, Tyler. As Bocus readies and now deals the 0-2. That's going to be inside. Young turning and getting out of the way of that one. Count now 1-2.
Bocus's big misses have seemed to be high and inside today. Had hit Mavakwa earlier. So that's a nice single from Tyler Young. Pulled it into left field for the 3rd base hit of the game for the Doubledays. And now Sam Meyer steps up to bat with a runner on first and 2 outs. This is what the Doubledays need to do, just consistent base hits, 3 singles. They don't need to be crushing balls. Don't need to get doubles, triples, even home runs, which we saw one of yesterday against the Doubledays. But if they can just get these consistent singles against Geneva, their offense should be able to outlast Geneva's subpar offense. The pickoff attempt over to first. Young retreats back to the bag. As a big swing and a miss from Sam Meyer going after that one. Another pickoff attempt. Focus not too trustworthy of Tyler Young over there on first. Tyler Young only with 1 steal on the campaign. Hasn't really had the chance to show off his base running prowess throughout the year. He's only appeared in 3 games according to the official sports stats sheet. Meyer behind in the count 0-2, and yet another pickoff attempt. He's just going to press him closer and closer to the bag. The righty pitcher not trustworthy at all, and that's going to be a takeoff attempt from Tyler Young, and he'll get there without even an attempt from the catcher, Clark, to nab him out at second. One ball, two strikes. Sam Meyer still up at the plate, as Meyer will knock it right to Aiken Santana, who flips it over to Rotterman for out number 3. Focus goes untouched this inning, but another Doubleday gets into scoring position. Can't capitalize, however. We'll see how the Doubledays offense continues to do, or defense, excuse me, when they return in the top of the 3rd inning. Don't go away.
As we enter the top of the 3rd inning, first pitch is going to plunk Jack Turner in the back, as he will take first base after that hit-by pitch to start the at-bat.
Might be the first bad pitch we've seen Aiden Zur throw all day.
Zur had been perfect up to that point. As Turner's the first base runner of the night, as that pitch is going to be outside for ball number 1 to Colin Clark.
Clark, a veteran on the squad, the senior out of St. John Fisher. Ball careens into the dirt outside.
It's going to be pickoff attempt, not going to be in time. As the 2-0 pitch is going to be low. Now on the move is Turner, as he will slide into second safely. The ball caroms into the outfield, but Turner's going to stay at second.
And I don't think Turner realized how difficult of a play that would be for Adam Sullivan, who had to chase that down. Meyer really didn't come in too much to back up that play. So it's a successful stolen base for Jack Turner, but he probably could have been over to third if he was ready for how bad of an error that was for the Doubledays.
So the count 2-1. That last pitch was called a strike. That one's going to be swung on and missed right there
from Colin Clark. So count now even at 2-2. Nobody out. Jack Turner standing on second base. As he'll look at strike number 3 as a big first out from Aiden Zur. He gets Colin Clark down on strikes.
Punch out number 3 of the day for Aiden Zur, who has really been feeling his stuff recently. 2 more batters to round out the count, Brock Ratterman and Christian Bermudez.
That's going to be strike number 1 to Brock Ratterman. Ratterman, the 9th hitter in the lineup. Christian Bermudez on deck as the pitch is going to be in there for strike number 2. So a quickly 0-2 count to Ratterman. Zur's pitch is going to be swung on and missed for strike number 3. Back-to-back strikeouts, and now the 4th strikeout of the game so far for Zur. As now there's 2 outs for the Doubledays.
It seems like all of Zur's at-bats are just following the same script. Throws 2 great pitches that the Red Wings just look at, watch go by, drop in for strikes, and then Zur goes, okay, look at this one, throws one that the Red Wings try to chase but can't get to.
Bermudez checks a swing. He goes around. Ball gets away from Giuliuzzi, but he's able to gather it before Jack Turner heads on over to third, so that's going to be strike 1. So 0-1 count here to Bermudez. Zur's going to pick off attempt to second. Not in time, though. They had Jack Turner for half a second, but Turner able to make a nice recovery and slide back to second base safely.
Zur just doing the routine look back. If he was ready to see Turner slipping, he might have been able to get him.
Strike number 2 as Bermudez swings through that one. Count now 0-2, 1 strike away from 3 consecutive strikeouts. Zur readies on the mound and delivers an 0-2 pitch. That's going to be just high. Zur was walking off the mound thinking he had strike 3. A lot of Doubledays fans in the crowd thought it was strike 3 as well. It's going to be instead ball number 1. Bermudez staying alive in the count. As now Zur delivers a 1-2 pitch that's going to be swung on and missed for strike 3 and out 3. After a lead off hit by pitch, Zur fans the next 3. He's got 5 strikeouts through 3 innings. Doubledays come to the plate in the bottom of the 3rd with a chance to add to their 2-0 lead. Stick with us for more Auburn Doubleday baseball.
So check them out at any of the 3 locations in Auburn or on Erie Drive in Weedsport.
Alright, so that's yours. That's mine. Which was it's not external microphone. No, that was like the computer. I thought it was this one, but then like did you change them at all or no? Yeah, that's what that's what you were doing. Oh, okay. So maybe it's just my headset. Like I think it'd be because it's like I think and then that is that. What's the name of your I'm pretty sure it's microphone. Oh, microphone, right? I think so. You sure it's not business? No, because that's I see that on kids. That's the C9X. So we'll try this.
more jerseys tonight. If you'd like to buy a ticket, we'll have a souvenir shack. Tickets are $1.
But that gives me the levels,
We
like,
will draw a winner ticket at the end of the 7th inning.
because like when this is up, that's what it's doing. It should be.
Leading off for Doubleday, second baseman from Niagara University, number 21, Tyler Vivacqua.
In another news, the Wake Forest football coach soaks his burgers in Sprite before grilling them.
Bottom of the third inning, as the Doubledays hold a 2-0 lead as the top of the order, and Tyler Vivacqua is now at the plate. He'll look at strike number 1 from Michael Bokus.
Bokus with a solid bounce back inning in the second after giving up 2 in the first. Looked much more comfortable on the mound, even though the Doubledays still snuck a runner over to second base, got one in scoring position, had to strand him out there.
Big swing right there from Tyler Vivacqua, not able to connect as he falls behind quickly 0-2, as the pitch is going to be outside, count now 1-2. Bokus ready's on the mound. 1-2 pitch to Vivacqua is high. Count now even, 2-2. Got to be impressed so far with the start from Aiden Zur. 3 innings of very good work. Only 1 base runner so far. Now is the 2-2 pitch from Bokus to Vivacqua is going to be low and inside for ball number 3. Now a full count. Vivacqua reached to start off the bottom of the first because of a hit by pitch. Then came around to score as the full count 3-2 is going to be fouled off. Staying alive is Vivacqua. Bokus gets the signed. Now is going to deliver the payoff pitch. That one is going to be high for ball number 4. Clark behind the plate thought it might be strike number 3, but home plate umpire thought that one was a little too high. So Tyler Vivacqua will make his way down to first. Leadoff walk will bring up Bobby Hardy to the plate.
Vivacqua just has an uncanny ability to work his way back in counts. Fell behind 0-2, and then for the next 5 pitches were balls.
Bobby Hardy steps to the plate after singling in the first inning in his first at-bat. Vivacqua was on the move as the pickoff attempt will not be in time. Vivacqua was leaning as if he was going to take off to steal second, able to recover and get back to first in time. So look to see Vivacqua on the move in this at-bat, as the first pitch will be outside for ball number 1. Vivacqua stays put over there at first. Bokus looks back at Vivacqua now. At his catcher Clark, he's going to just step off of the rubber. No pickoff attempt, just stepping off. Is now he'll ready back on the rubber and a 1-0 count to Bobby Hardy. Pitch is going to be inside for ball number 2.
One thing that Vivacqua's presence on first does is it limits the amount of pitches that Bokus can throw, or rather the type of pitches. He can't go to the breaking ball as much.
That one outside, and Vivacqua is going to steal second without a throw. Exactly like Ryan said. Can't go to the breaking ball. Did go to an outside fastball, but that one was just too much outside where Clark wasn't able to get the transition and decided better against throwing down to second. So Vivacqua gets probably one of his easiest stolen bases of the year as he stands on second. Bobby Hardy, 3-0 count. That one's outside for a 4-pitch walk.
An aggressive bat flip from Bobby Hardy, who certainly earned it this game. Already scored once, coming around after a single, now getting on base yet again.
So we're going to see the catcher, Colin Clark, go out to the mound and talk with Michael Bokus, the 4th. As Mark Gialusi comes to the plate, Gialusi grounded out to third in his first at-bat. That advanced the runners to both, actually just Bobby Hardy to second, as Tyler Vivak was already standing on third, but then obviously both runners came around to score as they were in scoring position thanks to Gialusi. So Aiken Santana, the third baseman, playing about a foot from the grass. He's playing in, so is the first baseman, maybe anticipating a bunt, but Gialusi is going to be swinging, and that one's going to be hit out to right field. Coming in, not being able to make the play is Bowerman, as Vivak was only going to get to third as he had to hold up on second to see whether or not Bowerman was going to make the play in the outfield. But as soon as that ball dropped, Vivak was headed to third, so now the bases are going to be loaded for cleanup hitter Anthony DeCesare.
I will say that was excellent base running from Bobby Hardy specifically on that hit. Had to kind of toe the line. He was about 80% down to second. He couldn't completely commit or else he would have been in trouble. Was there a catch? But he also couldn't be too cautious or else he would have gotten thrown out at second even with a single. So he played that perfectly to where he could have went either backwards or forwards.
Yeah, kind of that position where the runners are in no man's land waiting for a reaction or a catch from the outfielder. As that pitch is going to be a strike. Interesting call as the catcher was falling away trying to catch that one, but home plate umpire said that's going to be strike number one, so count 0-1 to Anthony DeCesare, who has the bases loaded here in the bottom of the third. Nobody out. 0-1 pitch to DeCesare is going to be outside for ball number one. When you make the lineup in Matt Petrosi, this is what you dream of. Anthony DeCesare coming up with the bases loaded. Your first three hitters getting on. As that's going to plunk DeCesare in the back. Second hit by pitch from Bokus on the mound. As Bokus grabbing his calf, actually. Kind of limping as well, as we're going to see the manager for the Red Wings come to the mound. As that hit by pitch is going to score a run. It's also going to keep the bases loaded as Vivak comes all the way around to score. Bobby Hardy moves to third. Mark Gialusi at second. And, of course, DeCesare takes first. As there's a meeting on the mound here. Wonder whether or not the pitcher Bokus maybe has a cramp in his calf. As I look down, and I can't see too much warming in the bullpen for the Red Wings.
I'm sure if Bokus is banged up, manager Thomas Eaton would love to be able to take him out, not risk him getting hurt, but he really doesn't have much of a choice in terms of keeping him in, because the Red Wings just don't have a deep pitching staff today. They're going to be delving into position players pretty soon.
100%. As you mentioned, Bokus is staying on the mound. Not surprising, as just like Ryan mentioned, have a limited amount of pitchers in the bullpen, and then they're making some defensive replacements because they're bringing in position players to the mound. But right now, going to be a tough spot for Bokus as Adam Sullivan comes to the plate. Already has an RBI single in this ball game. He stands at the plate with the bases loaded. Corners are playing in. Middle infielders playing in double play depth. First pitch swinging. That one's going to be on the ground to right field. The throw home is going to not be in time as one run scores. Second run comes around to score. 2 runs right there for the Doubledays. And another 2 RBIs for Adam Sullivan, the shortstop.
It looked like there's some disconnect there between the cutoff man, Brock Rudderman, and the catcher, Colin Clark. Might have been able to throw it to at least make it a play to potentially get Mark Gialusi out, but no throw, no connection, and 2 easy runs scored for the Doubledays.
It was funny. On third was Bobby Hardy. He actually took a second to wait whether or not Bowerman was going to make the play, similar to the play we saw earlier in the inning as DeCerbo's first pitch is going to be swung on and miss. So Hardy came in to score, but right behind him was Mark Gialusi, who actually had a great read on that ball, saw it was dropping. It was on the tail of Bobby Hardy coming around third, as that one's going to be hit in the air out to right field. The second baseman is not going to be able to make the play, and that one stays fair. So all the runners are going to advance another base as that little bloop single gets past Bermudez, the second baseman.
Just an odd play there, but everything seems to be going in the Doubledays' favor right now. Even the sun playing a factor, letting DeSerbo get away with what's probably an out 7, 8 times out of 10 normally.
Interesting too, because Ratterman, for the Red Wings, the first baseman, took an angle where he was clearly in foul territory. I think Ryan mentioned it perfectly. The sun played an issue right there. So we've seen 3 balls that could have been potentially caught fall to the ground, and the Doubledays have taken advantage. Bases loaded once again. Charlie Wortham will see a first pitch strike in his at-bat as he grounded out to short in his last at-bat. Still nobody out in this inning. Wortham, the 7th hitter to come to the plate for the Doubledays, as the pitch is going to be hit and fouled. Quickly 0-2.
We were the Blue Jays from 01 to 2010.
Bocus ready's on the mound. Is 0-2 to Wortham, is going to be inside for ball number 1. Wortham looked back at the home plate umpire like, please do not call this one a strike. That one's inside. And indeed it was. So the count 1-2 to Wortham.
That's the best ball in Bocus's bag, the breaking ball that narrowly gets inside.
A rocket that almost takes the head off of Anthony Cesare. Just foul from Charlie Wortham just ahead of that pitch. That would have drove in 2, maybe even cleared the bases. That was about 2 feet right. But Wortham staying alive now in a 1-2 count. The pitch from Bocus is going to be hit right back up the middle. Bocus makes the play, fires home for 1. Second throw to first in time for a double play. It's going to be a 1-2-3 double play. Something you don't see every day is so no run score on that ground out, but DeSerbo advances to second and Sullivan stands on third. As coming to the plate is Nick Izzo, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Doubledays still looking to add more. Have put up 3 in the inning. First pitch swinging is Izzo, as that's going to be fouled off for strike 1.
Luke, one of our notes from after the game yesterday was the Doubledays, despite scoring 5 runs through 4 innings, still left plenty of runners on base early on in that contest. I believe the tally was 8 somewhere around the 5th, 6th inning. So that's something that we said that they could improve upon in this game. If you get to a scenario where you have bases loaded, no outs, and you can't add on any more runs, that's a tough one if you're the Doubledays.
100%. Well, they've already put up 3. Ryan said it perfectly. Nobody out with the bases loaded. You want more, as that one's going to be a little dribbler over to short. Fogg charging it, throwing to first in time with a 6-3 ground out. So after scoring 3 and having the bases loaded, the Red Wings are able to get out of it with only giving up 3 runs. But again, the Doubledays add to their lead. They now lead 5-0 here. As coming to the mound is Aiden Zur, who's been phenomenal so far. Let's see if he continues his hot start on the mound. We'll be back with more Doubledays baseball in just a second.
Right field. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's 3-4.
Oh.
And that was a goalie one, too.
I hit it on the head. Whoa. 5. Yep.
Yes. Jamestown's up 4-0 over Elmira. Batavia and Niagara Falls are tied at 0.
Tonight's game is sponsored in part by Seneca Stone Corporation and Investments. Hearthstone, and aggregate for all your residential and commercial needs.
The top of the order for the Red Wings now up in the top of the 4th inning as Zach Banks will step to the plate. First pitch he sees is going to be a strike. Banks flew out to center on the first pitch of the game. That one's going to be just miss off the outside part of the plate for ball 1. Count now even at 1-1.
Zura struck out 5 of his last 7 batters. On a bit of a heater right now, having taken down 3 straight.
Swinging through that one is Banks once again. So quickly the count 1-2 for Zur, who's already struck out 5, struck out 3 in the 3rd inning. As that one's high, evening the count at 2-2. As the pitch is going to be swung on and missed for a 4th consecutive strikeout for Aiden Zur. He gets Zach Banks swinging to start the 4th inning.
Hitter number 28, J.D. Robinson.
This is what a true Division I baseball player looks like. There's a reason Notre Dame was after Aiden Zur, and it's because he has a bag of pitches.
That one's going to be ripped foul from J.D. Robinson, grounded out to 3rd in his last at-bat. Count now 0-1. Feels like Zur has gotten stronger throughout the season as well. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast that one's going to be in there for strike number 2, count 0-2. I mentioned a 5.76 ERA, and that's really just because of 1 or 2 bad starts from Zur at the beginning of the year. He has dialed it in lately. As that's going to be strike number 3, another strikeout for Zur. 5 consecutive outs, and batters have come via a strikeout. Zur's already up to 7 strikeouts on the night. As Chase Fogg, the shortstop, comes to the plate. First pitch he sees, a strike from Zur. And when looking back at it, actually, as that one swung on and missed from Fogg, the last 6 outs have been strikeouts. 6 of the last 7 hitters have been strikeouts. That one's going to be swung on and missed for strike number 3. So striking out the side is Aiden Zur. And that's 6 consecutive hitters he has faced that have gone down on strikes. He is dealing here tonight at Falcon Park. We'll be back. Doubledays look to extend their 5-0 lead at Falcon Park. I said last the outs because that one was a strikeout.
Oh, gotcha. I understand that.
Because like then I was like, oh, next to the 6 out of 7 batters.
My cousin knows
No way.
but not super well. And he's like, do you know her? And I was like,
A summer or semester.
Again, tonight's game is sponsored in part by your local Duncan, American, and Auburn. Duncan.
Tyler Young leads the bottom of the fourth off for the Doubledays as Young singled and stole a base in his last at-bat back in the second inning as Bocus still on the mound. First pitch swinging. That one's going to be rolled foul from Tyler Young. Count now 0-1. Ryan, I was about to ask you what's impressed you the most so far through 4.5 innings, but I feel like the obvious answer would have to be Aiden Zer's pitching so far.
Has to be. The strikeouts have just been coming left and right. He has not been able to turn off the faucet that's just been sitting down the Red Wings throughout this game.
1-1 pitch swung on and missed from Tyler Young. Count now 1-2. Already 8 strikeouts on the night for Aiden Zer. That one's inside for ball 2. Even count at 2-2. 8 strikeouts. Or excuse me, let me rephrase that. 8 of his 12 outs have been strikeouts in this ball game. That pitch is going to be hit foul from Tyler Young, staying alive. As the count remains 2-2. As Michael Bocus, I think it has to be a cramp as he motioned to the dugout. He is struggling. He's struggling to even stand up straight, holding behind the knee. As, yeah, he's definitely cramping. We mentioned it was 84 degrees, the heat here at Falcon Stadium, as we had a cool night last night, but as the manager is going to come out and immediately start stretching out, as it looks like to be, I believe either the hamstring, I believe the hamstring, because he was motioning towards the calf in the last inning. Now I believe it's the hamstring, as manager brought out water immediately and a stretching, as that's what you see the huddle up on the mound is for.
It's one of those things that it might not take him out for the game, but it's going to take a while for him to truly feel good on that right leg. Having already made it into the 4th inning, you've got to wonder whether manager Thomas Eaton decides it's time to pull the plug on the operation. He's still out there stretching. As he's finally getting some water. It's important on a day like this. If you're at the ballpark and it's 90 degrees out, just make sure you're always hydrating, always staying with a water in your hand. So it looks to be a mini conference going on the mound, judging to see if Bocus can remain in the contest. Still looking a little ginger on that right leg. Looks like manager Thomas Eaton is relaying a message to the rest of the dugout. We'll be back after a brief intermission to give you more details on if Bocus will remain in the game. It appears that Michael Bokus, the fourth, will remain in this contest. He's not coming down despite falling to the ground with ramping issues. He'll stay in the game. Manager Thomas Eaton judged that Bokus is good to go. He's good to keep going against Tyler Young in the batter's box as Young fouls that one off. A long break between the fifth and sixth pitch of the at-bat. Young has to kind of get back into the thick of things here. Pitch number 7 is hit into right field. That'll get past the second baseman Bermudez. And another base hit for the Auburn Doubledays. Tyler Young with his second hit of the night.
Great at bat right there from Tyler Young. After falling behind 1-2 in the count, he went to battle mode, protecting the plate, and does so phenomenally, going the other way with it for a leadoff single to start the bottom of the 4th inning. I gotta say, I think it's always great for young hitters to learn and be willing to go the other way and not try and pull every ball. It can expand and really raise your average through the roof, as that one's in the dirt to Sam Meyer for ball number 1.
He had plenty of time to think about how he was going to attack Michael Bokus with a long intermission between the 5th and 6th pitches.
As a hitter, obviously that's a circumstance you never see is on the move. Right there is Young, as the throw down is not going to be in time, but for a second, Young slid off the bag, but he gets his hand back before the tag is thrown on him from Bermudez, so that's going to be a stolen base for Tyler Young. As the pitch to Sam Meyer was a strike, so the count 1-1. But Ryan, would that bother you as a hitter if in between, the 5th and 6th pitches, there was a 5-minute break, it felt like?
Yeah, I'd say it would. I equivocate it to being a golfer and having to wait a good 10-15 minutes for a group to get off the green when you're trying to hit on a par 3. That gets in your head, it messes with your mind. You just never like having that long wait.
Yeah, you're in a rhythm, and I can imagine that just throws you off, as that pitch is going to be low as Bokus falls to the ground, and he's cramping once again as Sam Meyer takes first base. As this one looks to be in real pain.
And he just has to come out of the game. I mean, a testament to him for fighting in there, having that warrior spirit. But not only are cramps dangerous to pitch on in the first place, but what it does is it forces you to put pressure on different parts of the leg and on your back and on your hip. And this is how serious injury issues develop. At the end of the day, if you're cramping, you probably should just be coming out of the game, especially because it's not between innings. You don't get that adequate rest time.
That's a great point, and it looked like a relieving pitcher was coming in, and the managers and the coaches for the Red Wings actually said, hold on, wait just a second. But I'd have to agree with you, Ryan. This is the second time Bokus went down, and this one, he went down immediately. Wasn't even trying to fight the cramp and the pain. He went down immediately. I think just for his safety, you would have to pull him. As everybody gathering around the pitcher. It's 82 degrees here in Auburn. Definitely a warm evening here tonight. Humidity is at 55%. As it's not going to get easier for Bokus, as not only him dealing with the cramp, but the top of the order coming up for the Doubledays and Tyler Vavakwa. We're going to take a break right now as we'll wait to see how Bokus recovers. We'll be back. We get word on what is next to happen on the mound. back at Falcon Park, and looking at the stream right there, it's Michael Bocas the fourth on the mound as the manager for the Red Wings and field umpire are yelling at each other. I don't think I've seen anyone get ejected, as I'm not exactly sure what the argument has been about. It truly might have been about the field umpire saying, hey, you should take out your pitcher, and manager Thomas Eaton saying, I can manage my own team. Again, that's speculation from myself, but I'm not exactly sure what the two were arguing about, but they certainly were passionate about the argument and debate.
Weird situation. Bocas remains in the game despite falling to the ground while cramping twice. They've been showing signs of that calf bothering him earlier in the game. But we'll see how this decision pays off for the Red Wings. Runners on first and second, no outs. Tyler Vivacqua up to bat.
Top of the order, as Ryan mentioned, Vivacqua, as he rips one through the sixth hole, as holding at third is going to be Tyler Young. That ball ripped into left field. Bases loaded once again. And you see Bocas even running back to the mound. It looks like he's just dragging along one of the legs. This is clearly something that's lingering and affecting him on the mound, but he's going to have to deal with it as long as he is stepping on to the rubber, as he steps to the mound with the bases loaded and Bobby Hardy at the plate. Hardy's
gotten on base both times today, and both times he's managed to come all the way around and score.
A single in his first at bat and a walk in his second. First pitch outside for ball number one. Again, I don't see a single arm warming up in the bullpen for the Red Wings. So you wonder if this is Michael Bocas' inning to continue with, even with the two stops, because of the cramp. Is grounder to third is going to be thrown home for an out to get the lead runner in Tyler Young, but making his way to first before the throw from the catcher to first is Bobby Hardy, as we're going to see a meeting on the mound as Bobby Hardy reaches via a fielder's choice. So there's one out here, as that is going to be the end of the night for Michael Bocas, as he stays in for two hitters after his second cramp, as we'll see a new pitcher, as the crowd giving him a hand, as they should. He was battling through some pain. We'll be back with more information about the new pitcher on the mound for the Red Wings. Malachi Morgan now on the mound for the Red Wings. The righty side armor is going to go up against Mark Gialusi with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the fourth. Michael Bokus, the fourth, putting up a great effort as that one's going to be foul right past head coach Matt Petrosi and the third base coach's box.
If any Red Wings fans were concerned about Michael Bokus' 15.75 ERA heading into this contest, Morgan sporting an 18.21 ERA, just 1-4 on the campaign. Through 9 appearances so far, this makes appearance number 10.
A pitch inside, evening the count at 1-1. Doubledays 5 runs, 7 hits, 0 errors. Red Wings 0-0-0 so far in this ball game. Swinging and fouling that one off is Gialusi. So count now 1-2. Mark is 1-2 on the night. Singled back in the third inning in his last at bat. Corners are playing in as the pitch is going to go behind. The back actually is going to hit the butt of Mark Gialusi as he's going to take a second now, head to first base. That one is going to bring in a run as Mark Gialusi gets an RBI via hit by pitch. The third hit by pitch that the Doubledays have encountered at the plate here today. Anthony DeCesare comes to the plate once again with the bases loaded. Pitch is in the dirt for ball number 1. That one's also inside and having to be snagged by Clark before making its way to the backstop. Count 2-0. Bokus went 3 1/3 in this ball game as the 2-0 pitch is going to be fouled off. Count now 2-1 to DeCesare.
3 1/3 innings, not being the worst case scenario for a pitcher who's clearly a little banged up throughout the contest, was cramping. He seemed like he was cramping throughout, and that put it close to his night.
As that one's going to be dribble over to Aiken Santana. He's going to second for 1. No throw to first. So reaching on a fielder's choice is Anthony DeCesare, as that's going to drive in Tyler Vavakwa, who's able to make his way from third home. That's the 7th run of the ball game for the Doubledays.
Batting the shortstop for North Allen, number 36, Adam Sullivan.
For the Doubledays, while they've been able to score some runs with the bases loaded, they haven't had that big hit that has just cleared the bases or scored 2 of the 3 runners. You know, they've been able to score 1 run at a time. Still looking for that monster hit with runners on base. You know, that's nitpicking, though. They do have 7 runs through 4 innings as Sullivan gets a hold of that one, but it's going to be grounded right to the first baseman, Ratterman, as he will touch on first base himself. So Doubledays add 2 more to their 5-0 lead. They lead 7-0 after 4. The most impressive part of the ball game has been Aiden Zur on the mound. Let's see if he continues where he left off in the 4th inning. Stick with us. We'll be back at Falcon Park with more Doubledays baseball. They lead 7-0.
All 3 of them have coupons for free ice cream. Great thing at ice cream, home and tea treats. Those coupons are going to the loudest fans, so you gotta make some noise if you want the free ice cream.
saying that means we're playing 9 tonight. Top of the 5th inning as Aiken Santana, the third baseman, steps to the box. As the last 6 batters to come to the plate have all struck out against Aiden Zur. First pitch from Zur is going to be high for ball number 1. The last 7 out of the... Yeah, let me say that a different way. 7 of the 8 hitters that have come to the plate have struck out. Also is grabbed by Tyler Vivacqua. What a snag from Vivacqua, showing his hops right there.
Those are the plays from Vivacqua that just make you go, wow. He has those errors once in a while where he's just trying to make a stellar play, but more often than not, he's out there just dazzling the crowd with his amazing catches and throws.
Love to see the vertical number on that one as Vivacqua got up. That one's going to be hit in the air out to center field. Dylan Briggs flies it to Sam Meyer for a quick out, number 2. So while it hasn't been strikeouts here in the 5th, it's been 3 pitches and 2 outs for Aiden Zur. Talk about efficient, even after having to wait for so long in the bottom of the 4th. 2 mound visits because of injury, then a substitution, then runs being scored. Has not affected Zur at all. First pitch is going to be fouled off from Tim Bowerman. If you heard any screaming in between innings, hey, ice cream was on the line, as there is some ice cream coupons being given out for the loudest fan. So some of the props you get when you come to Falcon Park, great giveaways. That one's going to be hit in the air out to right field. Going back is Nick Izzo, coming in Gianni Serbo, but Tyler Vivacqua calling them off as he makes the sliding grab for out number 3. Vivacqua putting on a defensive show in the top of the 5th inning. 2 great defensive plays by the second baseman as he gets a tip of the cap actually from some of the defenders on the Red Wings as he comes to the dugout for the Doubledays. They hold a 7-0 lead, looking to add to it in the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back with more baseball at Falcon Park. Gianni DeSerbo now steps to the batter's box in the bottom of the 5th inning. Doubledays holding a 7-run lead. It's still going to be Malachi Morgan on the mound as that first pitch is going to be grounded over to short. Chase Fogg backhands it, throws to first, but it's not going to be in time. DeSerbo beats it out as the throw does get away from Ratterman, the first baseman, but DeSerbo staying put at first base.
DeSerbo's 2nd consecutive single. The Doubledays with 9 hits now on the night.
Now coming to the plate, Charlie Wortham, trying to get on base for the first time here tonight. As Morgan's first pitch is going to be swung on and missed right there from Wortham. A 1 pitch low, evening the count at 1-1. Doubledays have scored 7 runs, 2 in the first, none in the second, 3 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. As third pitch outside for ball 2. Wortham now ahead in the count, 2-1. As that one is going to be a called strike, as that's the second time tonight where Clark has actually had to move his entire body to catch a pitch, and it's been ruled a strike. Wortham stepped out of the batter's box to recollect himself after that call. Count now 2-2. Serbo getting a lead off of first base. Morgan's pitch is going to be low. Count is now full to Wortham.
Wortham still looking for that first hit of the night after rounding out into a double play in his last at-bat.
Payoff pitch is going to be in the dirt. A walk to Charlie Wortham as he will be on first base for the first time here tonight. Advancing Gianni DeSerbo over to second base and bringing up Nick Izzo. So you can hear the Jay-Z walk-up song for Nick Izzo. Again, arguably one of, if not the best walk-up songs, just going with the nickname Izzo as well. Just works out perfectly. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1.
Very fitting as Izzo looking to be the 10th Doubleday to get on base today. All of the 9 other batters have managed to make it over to first, after Wortham just did so there on the walk.
Izzo has had a nice night in the field as well. A couple of nice picks at first base. Ryan mentioned looking to get on base for the first time tonight. 1-1 pitch is going to be inside for ball number 2. Now ahead in the count, 2-1. Morgan's pitch is going to be hit and dribbled foul. Matt Petrosi, the only one able to make a play on that one. I'm tossing it to the ball boy. As the count now even, 2-2. Pitch is going to hit. Izzo in the back, as that's going to be the 4th batter from the Doubledays that is going to be hit by a pitch. Loading the bases once again here tonight. Tyler Young coming to the plate. Young has had himself a night with 2 singles so far.
That one hit Izzo square in the center of the back. Young trying to avoid the same fate. 2 batters already hit by Malik and Morgan. Not even 1 rotation through the lineup.
And I mentioned this in the last inning, and again, it was a nitpick for me, but Doubledays have had the bases loaded a multitude of times here tonight, but haven't had that big hit to not only, score 2, but maybe clear the bases. Again, a lot easier said than done, but Tyler Young looking to try and do so in a hitter's count early, up 2-0. As the pitch from Morgan is going to be ripped down left field, and it's going to be fair. So 1 run is going to score. 2nd run is right behind him. That's going to be Nick Izzo stopping at 3rd for a loud and hard hit double right there from Tyler Young, who's 3 for 3 now with 2 RBIs.
He certainly answered your call there. What looked like it was going to be a bases clearing double. Instead, scoring 2 runs, but extending the lead to 9-0.
What a rip right there from Tyler Young. Have yourself a night at the plate so far. Doubledays lead 9-0. Sam Meyer comes to the plate after walking in his last at-bat. First pitch he sees is going to be a ball. The entire infield now is playing in. hoping for a ground ball to get the lead runner, Nick Izzo, at home, as that one's hit in the air out to left field, but heading over to the bullpen and will fall in the bullpen of the Doubledays for strike number 1. Seems like the Doubleday hitters are timing up Morgan at the moment, as that one's going to be hit up the middle, and Chase Fogg making a diving play, but going to have nowhere to go with it as he just eats it as he was laying on his back. Great job by Fogg, not allowing that ball to get into the outfield, keeping Nick Izzo at third, but not able to get up in time to make a throw, as the speed of Sam Meyer was going to just be too much as he stands on first base. And once again, the bases are loaded, bringing up the top of the order, and Tyler Vivacqua to the plate.
Vivacqua has scored all 3 times he's been up today. Hit by a pitch his first at-bat, walked to the second, single in his third.
First pitch, strike to Vivacqua. This is Vivacqua's 4th at-bat in now 5 innings. Tells you how efficient the Doubledays offense has been, as that one's going to be hit over to the first baseman. He's going to second for 1. Not able to make the play at first, so Vivacqua scores a run and reaches. Interesting decision from Ratterman, who is about a foot from the bag. Could have tapped on first and then thrown over to second, and then obviously would have to make the tag at second, but goes to second straight away. They're not able to get the double play, so only 1 out, and the 10th run comes in for the Doubledays. So runners on the corner with 1 out for Bobby Hardy.
Yeah, interesting decision there, Luke, but I will give you Chase Fogg taking a little bit too long on the throw back. It looked like he hesitated, double clutched, and that was all Vivacqua needed to use his stellar speed to get over to first as he takes off, and we'll get there with ease.
Vivacqua, no throw down to second as the ball got away from Clark. Vivacqua with his 2nd stolen base of the night. Pitch is going to be low to Bobby Hardy for ball number 2. Now that's going to have runners in scoring position at second and third for the Doubledays, and Hardy at the plate. Pitch outside for ball number 3. Standing at third is Tyler Young, who had that 2-run double just a few batters ago. And then, of course, Tyler Vivacqua at second. We'll see if Bobby Hardy has the green light in a 3-0 count, as he does, and fouls that one off towards the dugout of the Doubledays.
Hardy took a weird fall there and fell back on his plant foot.
Swinging with all the power right there. We actually saw Gianni DeCerbo have a 3-0 count and a green light, so Matt Petrosi having faith in his hitters at the plate. I can't blame him. 10 runs in 5 innings. I'd have faith in them too. 3-1 pitch outside, ball number 4. Bases loaded once again for the Doubledays as Mark Gialusi now comes to the plate. As there's going to be a meeting on the mound. See if this is the end of Malachi Morgan's night or just a discussion on how they want to approach Mark Gialusi.
Could go either way here, but after this, I believe it's all position players for the Geneva Red Wings, so I would be a little surprised if they took Morgan out of the game.
Looks like Morgan is staying, and again, even though he's given up some runs, I think it's the right decision. And keeping a pitcher in as long as you can before having to bring in a position player. As Mark Gialusi, 1 for 2, has a single and reached when he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in his last at-bat. So coming to the plate now with the bases loaded, looking to drive in more than 1 and get a pitch to hit, as that one's not going to be one to hit. In fact, hits Gialusi once again as he'll take over first. Another hit by pitch. That drives in a run with Gialusi up to the plate with the bases loaded.
I'm sure Gialusi is happy to be racking up the RBIs. But I bet you if he had the choice between getting a hit and getting hit, he'd take getting a hit every day of the week over taking one to the back and shoulder.
I wouldn't blame him at all as he heads to first now. Bring it up, Anthony DeCesare, who Ryan noted has 3 RBIs in this ball game without having a single hit so far. First pitch he sees is inside. He grounded out in the first inning, brought in home a run. Was hit by pitch with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning, and then grounded in a fielder's choice, which also brought in a run. Pitch inside, count now 2-0 to DeCesare.
Five different hit by pitches thrown from Geneva today.
That one outside, so 3-0 count to DeCesare with nowhere to put him. Doubledays lead 11-0. Still only 1 out in the inning as well. 3-0 pitch is inside. DeCesare has to get out of the way before it hits him, but he'll take first with an RBI. His 4th RBI of the night, and again, still doesn't have a hit. One of those stat lines that you don't see very often.
Certainly don't. I'd say it's kind of the equivalent of maybe in basketball when they're just getting cardio time, playing 36, 37 minutes, but putting up 0 steals, 0 assists, 0 points. Although this time, still racking up the stats, just not having to do any of the work.
Absolutely. 4 runs batted in for DeCesare, as the walk is going to bring up Adam Sullivan, the only Doubleday who has not hit in this inning. Pitch outside, bringing the count even at 1-1. Sullivan 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs in this ball game already. 1-1 pitch is going to be fouled straight back. So the count now stands at 1-2. Sullivan takes a second outside the batter's box to regroup himself.
I do want to point out, with Vivakwa scoring there, he's now scored in all 4 of his at-bats today.
Pitch outside, evening the count at 2-2, and that's what you want from your leadoff hitter, not only to get on, but cause chaos on the base paths and come around to score. And as you noted, Vivakwa's done that plenty here tonight. So 2-2 count to Adam Sullivan. Pitch is going to be outside, full count now, 3-2. Gianni DeCerbo stands on deck. He got this whole inning started with a leadoff single. He now looks to come up for his second at-bat of the inning. But first, the payoff pitch to Sullivan. That's inside and hits him, as he will take first base and bring in the 13th run of the ball game. Ryan, I believe that's now the 6th Doubleday hitter hit by a pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a wild night for this Red Wings staff. Between both Bokus and Morgan, they haven't been able to find their control, but especially Morgan over these last 2 to 3 batters has been trying to find his stuff, but has been missing outside, then been overcorrecting, missing inside. One thing he can't seem to do is throw it over the plate.
So 13-0 now as Gianni DeCerbo on the mound. Excuse me, he's at the plate. Malachi Morgan is still on the mound for the Red Wings. Middle infielders playing in double play depth, just hoping for a ground ball to try and get out of it. There's a ground ball, not able to be fielded by Aiken Santana as 1 run scores. 2nd run into DeCesare comes around to score. That's going to be a 2-run double for Gianni DeCerbo, bringing the lead now to 15-0.
This is just getting out of control for the Geneva Red Wings. It seems like it should be the end of the night for Malachi Morgan, but they're just letting him go, using up his pitches. It seems like they've already given up on this contest.
As Charlie Wortham comes to the plate, walked in his at-bat here in the 5th inning. His first pitch he sees is outside for ball number 1. That one's ripped foul for strike 1, evening the count. And Ryan, you never want to say it. A game is over and there's a lot of baseball left to be played, but say this outcome holds, this is exactly what you want to see from the Doubledays. Last night, beating the Batavia Muck Dogs, that pitch outside for ball number 2. We've seen it throughout the season. Sometimes the Doubledays have had these ups and these downs, the roller coaster season where they've played great baseball against top tier teams and then had a disappointing game against some of the teams in the PGCBL that don't have great records. Well, tonight the Doubledays have come out and emphatically put their foot on the gas pedal, up 15-0. This is exactly what you want to see from the Doubledays. As that one ripped down the line, Aiken Santana making a great play, the backhand and throw over to first. Not in time as Charlie Wortham beats it out as he will have an RBI single, bringing in Adam Sullivan for the 16th run of the ball game.
That was a close call. Rudderman not happy that was ruled in favor of the Auburn Doubledays. It was about 50-50. I think that goes literally right down the middle there. Called 50% of the time in favor of Auburn, 50% of the time in favor of Geneva. But when Auburn's winning 15-0, now 16-0, it almost seems like the benefit of doubt should go to Geneva.
That one's hit over to short. Chase Fogg coming in, not able to get the double play as the throw over to first is going to pull Ratterman off the bag. He had to jump for that one. So beating it out is Nick Izzo as another run scored. Gianni DeSerbo scored right there. So you thought Chase Fogg having to charge that ball, okay, you'll get 1 out instead of the double play. Instead, they get no outs. Runner still on first and second. 10 runs in the inning for the Doubledays. Swung on and missed right there from Tyler Young, who has had himself a night. 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Ryan, I got to ask, have you ever seen a baseball game, or I'd say just a half inning like we've seen here tonight at Falcon Park?
Honestly, I don't think I have, unless you go all the way back to Little League. But after Little League, they at least call the mercy rules after 4 or 5 innings. We're still going for another few after this.
That one swung on and missed, so that'll be a strikeout of Tyler Young. And now bringing 2 outs to the inning as Sam Meyer steps to the plate. With runners on first and second, and the Doubledays having a 17-0 lead. Pitch is going to be ripped foul to the to the dugout of the Doubledays. But quickly back to my point I was making a little bit before the action got started once again, Ryan. You got to be happy with the Doubledays' performance, doing what they need to do against this Geneva ball club.
Yeah, it's been great in every sense of the word. Obviously, when you have 17 runs scored, the offense is showing up. But the defense hasn't had an error yet, and your pitcher, Aiden Zur, has not given up a hit.
That one hit into center field. Chasing after it is Briggs. Not able to make the play as it goes off his glove. Bringing in 1 run. Now coming in is the 2nd run. Nick Izzo, and standing up at third is Sam Meyer. So it's going to be an error from the center fielder that allows Sam Meyer to come not only around second but to third and drive in 2 runs. Auburn takes a 19-0 lead here. As the top of the order, and Tyler Vivacqua steps up to the plate. His 5th at bat in 5 innings. He's going to roll over on that one. Ground ball to second. As finally the bottom of the 5th concludes. 12 runs put up just in the bottom of the 5th from the Doubledays offense. 19 runs in the game. Doubledays lead 19-0. As we'll be back with the top of the 6th inning right after this. Stick with us for more Doubledays baseball.
long break for Aiden Zur between innings as he left the fifth inning, off the top of the fifth inning, with a 7-0 lead, comes back with a 19-0 lead. So he had some rest and starting off strong. 0-1 count to Jack Turner, throws one in there for a strike.
Turner, the only hitter that has reached base, and that was because of a hit by pitch from Zur in his last at bat.
Count now 1-1. That was a first pitch of the at bat hit by pitch. That's hit into right field. DeCerbo getting underneath it easily, not even having to move that much. Out number 1 recorded.
Just think about this, Ryan. Right there, Jack Turner. That was his second at-bat, and we're now in the 6th inning. Tyler Favakwa has had 5 at-bats through 5 innings for the Doubledays.
It's crazy. Still 3 Red Wings who have not had their second at-bat of the day yet. Colin Clark, Brock Rotterman, Christian Bermudez all going up right now. And pitch in there, strike number 1.
And it's truly insane that in a game where the offense has scored 19 runs, right now, if you had a player of the game, I think you'd have to give it to Aiden Zur.
You'd have to, especially if he keeps up what he's been doing. In addition to the 8 strikeouts, just has not given up a hit. He's been unstoppable so far. 0-2 count. He's missing low outside. 55 pitches thrown so far in the Notre Dame product. 1-2 pitch, swung on and misses. Catches another batter swinging. Colin Clark gets punched out for the second time tonight.
9th strikeout of the night from Zur. Obviously 1 away now from reaching double digits.
That will bring up Brock Rotterman, who's struggled at times in the field. Nearly gets a base hit. Bulls just foul down the third base line.
And I got to say, again, a lot of this is how are we going to see the Doubledays making their playoff push, having the 4th spot secured at the moment right now, but trying to find home field advantage, getting up to that 2 seed as that pitch is outside. You always get scared because pitching is premium in the postseason. Hey, for the Doubledays, Eric Korzenewski had a nice outing last night, and then Aiden Zur doing what he's done on the mound here tonight. You have to feel ecstatic if you're Matt Petrosi, the manager of the Doubledays, that if it does get to the playoff time, that you can hand the ball to one of these two, especially when this might be their last performance until the start of the postseason.
Certainly could be over the Doubledays. Still have a nice little stretch of home games to end off the season. Get a break tomorrow. The Doubledays hit the road, but then come back Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all here at Falcon Park. It's fouled off by Rotterman. Rotterman staying alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Trying to prevent yet another 1-2-3 inning. As he just steps away from it. It looks like he called time in time, so that won't count as a ball for Aiden Zur. Zur just decided he'd rather toss it over than potentially injure himself trying to slow up on a pitch he had already committed to. 2-2 pitch incoming and misses high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So just over 60 pitches on the day. As that misses barely outside. The second base runner of the day is going to the Red Wings. Brock Rotterman takes first.
All right, that was a great pitch, though, from Aiden Zur, right on the outside part of the plate. Just doesn't get the call right there. You know, Zur not doing too much complaining. Can't really when you're up 19-0.
That's definitely something that you can be pretty happy about. You know, pitchers sometimes like to complain about the run support that they get. I haven't heard Zur do that all season. He's certainly not doing that in this game. 19 runs.
Whew.
Wow. That first pitch in there for a strike to Christian Bermudez. Pitch number 2, swung on and missed. Bermudez managed to pick up a piece of it. That puts him behind with the count 0-2. Zur has been terrorizing the Red Wings batters when ahead in the count. His last at-bat against Bermudez was no exception. 0-2, misses just barely inside.
Another good pitch thrown with 2 strikes from Aiden Zur. Hey, when your misses are just as good as the strikes you're throwing, you're having a great night, and that's certainly what Aiden Zur's having on the mound.
Certainly is. Zur waiting for the right call there. Gets a grounder over to second. Vivacqua tossing it to Izzo for the final out of the inning. Aiden Zur making it through 6 full innings of work without giving up a hit. He'll be back in the top of the 7th to see if he can pull off a no-hitter. Stay tuned for more Auburn Doubledays baseball as they look to add on to their 19-0 lead. Bottom of the 6th inning, Ryan Story, Luke Beckman on the call as Doubledays lead 19-0 over the Geneva Red Wings. New pitcher, new hitter for these two teams as the first pitch from reliever Zane Barron is in there for a strike. The Red Wings going to their position players on the mound as Brendan Smith, the pinch hitter, knocks that one over to the roof of the Doubledays clubhouse.
Smith knows this might be his only at-bat of the game. Obviously, a run rule in effect after 7 innings, so he's getting his swings in.
And dribbles one, just barely fouled on the third base line. Smith pinch hitting for Bobby Hardy, who finishes the night 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a single, scored in 3 of his 4 at-bats. And hits that one deep into the outfield. That's going as it looks like the left fielder Turner's going to get underneath it near the warning track. Smith put some power on that swing, just couldn't carry far enough. Who knows, maybe if there was a little bit of wind at his back, that could have gotten out of here.
That's a great point. Really no wind as I look at the American flag out there in left center field, basically where the ball was hit, as the left fielder Turner was at the front of the warning track. Great point, Ryan. Maybe a little bit of wind, we would have seen a home run for Smith right there.
Doubledays rotating through the order for the 5th time tonight. Meanwhile, we still have yet to see any Geneva player bat for the 3rd time. First pitch misses outside to Mark Gialucci, the catcher, who in 2 consecutive at-bats has been up with the bases loaded and got hit by a pitch to score a run. 2-0 is not swung on. Check swing from Gialucci makes it 3-0.
You know, they say every time you go to the ballpark, you see something new. I feel there's been a few things here tonight that, you know, you've never seen before at a ballpark.
As I forget which TV program said it, but the more you know. The more you know, and Auburn certainly finding out some new stuff tonight. That's fouled off by Gialucci on the 3-0 count. Zane Barron, the pitcher, right now for the Geneva Red Wings. That one's fouled off by Gialucci. But Barron, we got a position player batting .227 on the campaign, making his first pitching appearance of the year. However, he's worked his way back into this count, 3-2 after 2 consecutive foul balls hit. Chase Fogg throws it over to the first baseman in Rotterman for out number 2 of the inning. And who would have guessed the position player already outperforming both Bokus, the starter, and Morgan, the first reliever?
We talked about it when they were debating whether or not they're going to take the pitchers out, saying, hey, probably better to have the pitcher in opposed to position players. Position player Zane Barons came in and made us eat our words. 2 quick outs, still having to take on Mark Gialucci here, though. Or, excuse me, Anthony DeCesare at the plate.
DeCesare has recorded an RBI in all 4 of his at-bats today, still with no hit. Done it in different ways each time, too. Ground out, fielder's choice, hit by pitch, and walk. As he rips one towards the Doubledays dugout. Count out 1-1.
How fitting would it be for him to get his first hit here tonight with nobody on?
Would be pretty fitting, although if he has a home run, that's still an RBI, so that could be in the cards for Anthony DeCesare. Who knows?
That's a great point.
The Doubledays players are Hardy and Charlie Wardlow, and then are going to be drawn.
On deck is Adam Sullivan. As a hit deep into the right field grandstands. Some kids go chasing after that ball. Makes it 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Red Wings looking for their first scoreless inning since the 2nd. As the call will be contested, challenged down to the first base umpire, who rules that DeCesare did not go. It's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. It'll also be the first time today that the Doubledays did not get a runner on base, and DeCesare will get caught swinging and missing as he comes up with nothing but air. The Doubledays go down 1-2-3 to the position player pitcher as they return in the top of the 7th, looking to close out this ball game. Stay tuned as we're on no-hitter watch. back here in the top of the 7th. Aiden Zer trying to close out this game unless the Red Wings manage to plate 10 runs this inning. Be done after this top of the 7th. It's going to be leadoff batter Zach Banks kicking things off. 0 for 2 on the night. Aiden Zer only giving up 2 base runners throughout this contest. Hit Jack Turner with a pitch in the 3rd inning and walked Brock Bratterman in the 6th. This is a quick 2-0 count to Banks.
Just past 8:30 here at Falcon Park. Pitch outside, counting out 3-0. Great crowd here tonight supporting the Doubledays. Wegmans night. Also had Little League here tonight. A lot of kids around the ballpark.
Fort Byron showed out for their hometown Auburn Doubledays.
The Doubledays have showed out for them on the field as well.
Making it an evening to remember. Something that seems to always happen at Falcon Park. That's hit into right field, and there goes the no-hitter for Aiden Zer. Probably the only reason he was still left in this game. He tried to see if he could accomplish that. He wishes he could have that pitch back, but Banks rips one into right field for hit number 1 for the Red Wings. Zane Barron, the pitcher, now gets to show off his hitting chops as he steps up into the batter's box. It's fouled off.
Barron stepped on the mound, went 1-2-3. What if he comes to the plate and gets the second hit off of Zer? Would sure have a little bragging rights over the rest of his teammates.
Leverage in there. This is for a ball, 1-1 count.
Pitch in there for a strike.
1 and 2. Count, runner on first. Zero trying to keep a shutout alive at the very least, and he'll catch Barron swinging. He was ready to go, just could not make any contact. That'll bring up Chase Fogg with 1 out on the board.
And that's going to be Aiden Zer's 10th strikeout of the night. In a night where it looks like the game will only go 7 innings. That one plunks Fogg.
First time we've seen Zer give up 2 base runners in 1 inning today. As Aiken Santana steps up to bat. Both times Zer has hit a batter with his pitch. It's been on the first pitch of the at-bat, and that'll bring Matt Petrosi out to the mound. Looks like Zer might not get his complete game in the books.
Might not get a complete game, but whoo, what a performance. I think you can easily shoot this up to the top of the rankings. If you're looking at best starting performances from a Doubledays starting pitcher this year, Aiden Zer's performance here tonight is certainly going to be one of them.
Makes it through 6 in the 3rd inning. Only giving up 1 hit, walking 1, hitting 2. But what a day for Aiden Zer, who gets a round of applause, a standing ovation from the Falcon faithful. They're grateful to have been able to watch him pitch for the entire night.
What a treat it has been to watch Zer pitch, as we're going to get a new pitcher in. Still haven't seen a number.
Looks like it'll be number 38, Cooper Polkovich, on the mound. Polkovich out of Potomac State. A hometown kid, played at Auburn High School growing up. Now gets a chance to pitch for the Auburn Doubledays.
Polkovich coming into a game where I gotta say this probably has to be the most stress-free he's ever entered a ball game in his life, and probably will ever, even though there's 2 runners on. When you have a 19-0 lead and 2 outs away from ending the ball game, you gotta feel, pretty loose when you're on the mound right now.
Yeah, you get that luxury of you can give up a few runs, even with runners already put on first and second and only one out. You can give up a few runs and not have to even break a sweat. Polkovich has pitched a few times for the Doubledays this year. However, they've all been in exhibition matchups. He's making his first real game appearance today, as that pitch shows, over the head of Mark Gianlucci. Now it's Chase Fogg on first, Zach Banks on second, with Aiken Santana about to step up, readying. This Polkovich is about to finish warming up pretty soon. Thanks for sticking with us here on this Wednesday night, as we're nearing 8:40 Eastern Time. It's been a fun one today. Looks like it might be a quick one as well. Might be going to finish up in about 2 hours and 15 minutes, unless the Red Wings manage to pull out a heck of a rally here at the top of the seventh.
Yeah, that would be one for the history books if they're able. Not even if they win this game, but just to extend this game. We'd be talking about this half inning for a while.
Speaking of extending games, Elmira making it a game out there against Jamestown. At one point they trailed 11-1. Now it's an 11-5 ball game in the top of the sixth, one to keep your eye on. If Elmira could mount a miraculous comeback, then it would be huge for the Doubledays in terms of the standings. The other game that matters, Batavia trying to mount a 7th inning comeback over the Niagara Falls Americans right now. They trail 4-6. Batavia, they're right now in first place, but a loss for them and a win for both Jamestown and Niagara would put Jamestown and Batavia knotted up in first, with Niagara Falls sitting just a game and a half back, and Auburn just 2 games back.
It's going to be nip and tuck for the rest of this regular season. As it seems like the top 4 teams have been doing what they need to do, except for Batavia, losing last night while the next 3 winning, and then tonight it could be the same scenario where they lose and the 3 teams after them win and gain ground on them.
Volkovich way outside there, and that'll cue up the catcher in Gianlucci going down to chat with him on the mound.
And for Batavia, if they do end up losing tonight and aren't able to mount a comeback, I believe that would be the 3rd consecutive loss for them. Just something at this point in the season, you just can't have losing streaks.
Luckily for them, they had built up enough of a cushion to where they could have a few, but it's getting to that point in the season where a bunch of games in a row, some negative momentum, could really tank their chances of securing that number 1 seed, which if you had looked at the percentage chances a week ago, they were probably up at 70-80% chance of securing that 1 seed, maybe higher than that. That might be a conservative estimate.
100%. The next couple teams, Jamestown number 2, making it a contest, and Doubledays trying to get up to that at least that 2nd seed for a home playoff game here at Falcon Park. How great would a home playoff game be for the Doubledays?
That would certainly be fantastic. We know the Falcon faithful would all be there to show up. We might not even have that many viewers on our broadcasters because they'd all be here at the stadium.
You know what? I'll take that trade-off.
That's hit foul to make it a full count here to Aiken Santana as Cooper Polkovich battling his first batter for now 6 pitches. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And that's hit right to the shortstop, Adam Sullivan, to Vavako. Vavako off the back foot, throws it way over the head of Izzo. Izzo actually made it to come down with that one somehow, jumping up, displaying that same vertical that Vavako showed earlier in the game. It was actually Bonfiglio who made that throw. There's some defensive substitutions made. Bonfiglio now at second. You also see Matt McGeorge, the pitcher, playing third. Brendan Smith out there in left field. Bonfiglio, though, with the hustle play there, trying to convert the double play. Instead, there'll be runners on the corners.
It would have been a tough turn anyway for Bonfiglio. That one's fouled off. I got to give props to Adam Sullivan. That was a rocket off of the bat of Santana. He played that smoothly. as it seems like he does with every ball hit his direction at shortstop, excuse me.
0-1 count after the foul ball. Polkovich looking to secure that final out of the night. Hold on to the shutout as Dylan Briggs swings and misses there. Briggs 0-2 on the night, now down in this count 0-2. Briggs still has not struck out yet though. Rounded out in his first at bat, flew out in his second. The Doubledays getting a little bit of a chant going. They've got the clap. 0-2 pitch outside. Volkovich looking solid. That's his first few batters that he's faced. As gets a swing there, that's fouled off to the right field grandstands. As Briggs stays alive, keeps the Red Wings still afloat here in the top of the 7th inning. Just one strike away from ending this ball game with a mercy rule win for the Doubledays. And Polkovich gets another foul ball off of Briggs. Briggs just fighting to stay alive. If he does manage to get on base, it would be Tim Bowerman on deck. Jack Turner in the hole. However, Polkovich doesn't want to have to get to that point. As that's hit deep into left field over the head of Brendan Smith, and that gonna bounce off the wall of Wanda Hopper. The Red Wings will score at least one, and a play at the plate, and that'll be the final out. Oh no, he lost it. Gianlucci lost it. Had it pressed against Aiken Santana. And Santana, his strength on the speed, must have been able to knock the ball out of Gianlucci's hands. So 2 runs will score on the double from Dylan Briggs, and that'll end the shutout for tonight's game.
Even though they're not able to get the out at home plate, what a relay from the Doubledays.
Fantastic.
From Smith to Sullivan to Gianlucci. Gianlucci just not able to hold on to that one. As Santana was coming in full speed, hit his glove, jarred the ball loose. Hey, what a relay. Love to see that, especially Smith, who just came into the game to pinch hit. You know, hadn't had many reps out there in left field tonight. Hey, showing his arm as we're going to get a call of time, I believe, from the catcher.
It's now Casey Burkroff, the pinch hitter, subbing into the game for Tim Bowerman. That pitch in there, strike. It's a 1-1 count. The pitch 74 miles per hour there from Polkovich. Briggs on second after his fantastic hit for the Red Wings. Is a swing and a miss there. Polkovich catches Burkroff missing. Yet again, the Red Wings down to their final strike. As a swing and a miss will end this ball game in a mercy rule win. The Doubledays take this ball game 19-2. Just all around fantastic for the Auburn Doubledays.
What a performance from the Doubledays. We had talked about, hey, sometimes after playing up to par with the top teams in the league, they play down to the level of the competition of the teams with not as great records. Tonight, that wasn't the case. Immediately jumping on the board against Geneva and never stopping. 19 total runs. Hey, and you got to give credit to the starting pitcher, Aiden Zur. What a phenomenal performance. 10 of his 19 outs that he recorded via strikeout. He was as dominant as ever on the mound tonight.
He certainly was. It looked like he was going to have a no-hitter, but at the top of the 7th, certainly was on pace for it. Unfortunately, hit giving up to Zach Banks, followed up by just 2 batters later, Chase Fogg. getting hit by a pitch, forced Matt Petrosi's head, and he decided 19-0 ball game. We'll just take out the starting pitcher, but even with that, 10 strikeouts for Aiden Zur, something he can be so proud of after this game, and certainly something that manager Petrosi can look at and be, okay, this could be our guy come in the final stretch and the playoffs along with Owen Richard, the ace of the squad.
100%, as Aiden Zur definitely cemented himself as a guy that when it comes playoff time, win or go home time, you feel confident and comfortable handing him the ball, saying, hey, go get us 5-6 innings and keep us in this ball game as the starting pitcher tonight. Even though it was against the Geneva Red Wings team that has had their struggles throughout the season, you want to see dominance, and that is what you saw on the mound from Aiden Zur. What a performance from him, and of course the offense coming through and giving him, well, run support to say the least. 19 runs, phenomenal work from the offense.
Yeah, certainly to say the least. Now the Doubledays will have a little bit of a break tomorrow. Not a break for the Doubledays, at least they hit the road, but we'll have a little bit of a break here at Falcon Park as Auburn looking around the association to see how much help they'll get. Batavia now not at 6-6 with Niagara Falls, and it's a win-win for Auburn. Either they get a little bit closer to Batavia in that number 1 seed, or Niagara Falls drops this game in the comeback effort from Batavia, and now Auburn looking to cement themselves as a top 2, maybe top 3 seed after tonight's win. So something that Auburn can certainly look at as a positive no matter what. Those are really the only 2 games outside of obviously this game at Falcon Park that have any real influence on the Doubledays.
Yeah, and if the Doubledays want to get any closer to Batavia, well, they have their opportunity tomorrow night traveling to the Batavia to face the Muck Dogs. Second time in 3 nights. They got the 5-3 win last night. If you're able to beat Batavia tomorrow night, 2 out of 3 nights for the Doubledays, you would have to feel extremely confident and would do wonders for your playoff push in the division. So if you really want to try and make ground against Batavia, don't even worry about that Niagara Falls game tomorrow. Forget this game, move on to tomorrow. That's a big one as well.
Batavia tomorrow, Newark Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Make sure you're supporting Auburn tomorrow and either on the broadcast or here at Falcon Park for that homestand over the weekend. For Ryan Story alongside Luke Backman, thanks for sticking with us for a 19-2 victory over the Geneva Red Wings. Have a good one, Auburn, as the Doubledays will be back on Friday here at Falcon Park.